Hello everyone. Today we are learning how to draw a piecewise function. Now, what is a piecewise function? Well, it's a function that is defined by multiple subfunctions, and each subfunction is applying to a certain interval of the domain. So in this case here, we have a cube function that we are going to use it for any number less than or equal -1. And then we have an absolute value function for any number within -1 and 3. And finally, we have a square root function for any number greater than 3. Well, in order to draw a piecewise function, we can follow the same steps we learned before in how to draw each one of them separately. So, first step, we need to find out the h and k. So, -3 and -2. Recall the shape of the function and create a table for the function, the cube function. Now, we know that the h and k will be at the middle. You need also to ask yourself whether -3 is less than -1, which is yes, okay? Now, taking points to the right and left, you need to be careful with this because you cannot go above -1, right? You cannot take 0 and 1. So I'm going to take -2 and -1. On the other side, I'm going to get -4 and -5, okay? And then substitute in the function up and find out the answer. So I'm going to use I'm going to find 6 when I substitute -1, -3, and -10. Sketch the function for this part. So we're taking -3 and -2. -2 and -1. -1 and 6. -4 and -3, and -5 and 10. And then you match between them. Just be careful that you're not going to go above this point, okay? You're not going to extend the line. That's the difference. So let me just draw it. Let me just go back, sorry, repeat it. And here we go, okay? That's the first function. Okay, next we're going to draw the this absolute value function by following the exact same steps. Okay, so we're going to take find the h and k, which is in this case what? Take 2 as a common factor, x minus 2. And then, that's negative, and then plus the 3's because you can move the 3 all the way to the other side. That's going to be your h, that's going to be your k, yeah? And now you can create the table for that. So, by creating the table for the function x, 3 minus absolute value of 2x minus 4, okay? Keeping this is going to be your h and k. Now you need to remember that you are starting at -1 and ends at 3, okay? You can take points in between -1 and 2, so I'm going to take 0. Now you can substitute in the function and you are going to get -3, -1, and 1, okay? And now you can match, so 2 and 3, 3 and 1, 0 and -1, and -1 and -3. Okay, and then you match between these points. Remember that this is your vertex, so when you match a straight line, of course you can take more points. So for example, if you take 1, you will get 1 and 1, like a point here, and then you match. Okay, here we go. But there is something missing here. As you notice, there is no equal sign here. In the graph, how do we present that? Well, we keep the -1 as an open circle. So when it comes to -1 and 3, we should make it an open circle. Here we go. Okay? Next function will be a square root function. So let's draw a table for a square root function. So we're going to take x and -2 square root x minus 2. Following the same steps of h and k, here we're going to be 2 and 0. Now I have a question for you. Is 2 greater than 3? No. So are we going to use the 2, 0? No, we are not going to use it. We will start from 3, okay, and taking points greater than 3. So I'm going to take 3 first, and when I substitute, I'll get -2. And then the next point that it will give me an integer solution is going to be 6. So 6, when I substitute, I'm going to get -4. Any points below 6, between 3 and 6, will give me a decimal. That's why I'm trying to avoid it. So now we can draw 3, -2, 3, -2 here, and 6 and -4. And then we match, okay? And then again, we are going to match. And since we know that this is a shape of the, we know the shape of the square root, then here we go. Now we need to check again. Do we have an equal sign here? No. So what we should do, we will start with an open circle, okay? So we're starting with an open circle here, and then match. Now, to tell what is a domain, what is a range? Well, the domain, as you can see from here, it's all real numbers. And you can check that in the graph. Now, what about the range? Well, the range is starting at this point and goes all the way down, right? So we can say, so the range will be from -infinity to 6 and close at 6 because I have a closed circle here, okay? Let's move on to the next question. Okay, what about this one here? Okay, we're going to follow the exact same steps we have done, where we have to find h and k, create a table. Remember, you need to recall the shape of the parent function. Now, h and k here, let's find, k is very clear, it's 0. But h, we need to take 2 as a common factor, so it's going to be x plus 3. So h is going to be -3. So we know that the h and k going to be -3 and 0. Now you need to ask yourself, is -3 less than -2? Yes, so we are going to use it. So I'm going to create a table. X -1/2, 2x plus 6 cube. Starting at -2, taking points below that, including the h and k. So it's going to be -3 and -4, okay? And then you substitute it, and you are going to get, now if you substitute, you will get -4, -3 and 0, h and k, and 4. And then let's draw it. So -3 and 0 is here. -2 and -4, -2 and -4, and finally -4 and 4. Now to match, you are gonna try your best to make it look like a cube function as much as possible, okay? Here we go. Just you need to remember that at -2 and there's no equal sign, so we're gonna keep it open circle, okay? Next, we are going to move to the next function, which is absolute value function. Okay, so x, absolute value 2x minus 1 minus 3. Remembering to find h and k, which is in this case 2x minus 1/2 minus 3. H is 1/2, k is -3, and 1/2 is basically within the interval here. Okay, so we're going to use 1/2 and -3. So we'll take points from -2 to 1, substitute it on the function up, including 1/2, You can end up with 1 and -2. Okay, that's your last point. And then 1/2 and -3 is here. 0, -2. 1 and -2. -1 and 0. And -2 and 2. And of course we know this is an absolute value function, so when I match, I just need to be careful that these are lines, okay? Remember that at 1, the function does not have an equal sign, so we need to keep it at 1, an open circle, okay? An open circle. Okay, finally, we have a square root function, which is x, a square root x minus 1 plus 2. Well, 1 and 2 are your h and k, okay? So, and we are starting at 1, so 1 and 2, that's your first point. Then you can take 2, 3, any point greater than 1, 5 and 4, and then go ahead and draw. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 5 and 4. And of course we know that this is a square root function, look like this, okay? And since we have an equal sign here, so that's it. We don't need to draw an open circle. Domain, okay, all real numbers. And the range would be anything from here all the way up. So from -4 to infinity, and open at -4 because of the open circle. Okay, guys? We're done for today's lesson. See you next time. Bye.